So by the time you get to the 1840s, things are really happening. Our opera company, the New Orleans opera companies, are going to New York and Baltimore because they don't have nearly the quality what we have here. And it builds into the 1850s. And perhaps the biggest monument to that was the building of the French Opera House and opening in December of 1859. And the following year, hiring a 17-year-old singer who turned out to be probably the greatest soprano of the 19th century. That was Adelina Patti, who came here and sang in that first full season. And then comes the siege, and then ultimately the occupation by those barbarian Northerners, and it changed the whole things. And economically, that was a key point. The city was a rich city in the 1850s. Opera's expensive. I think what was attractive about it was that when it was finally built in 1859, it housed, without question, the leading opera company in America, which had already been there, in the old Orleans Theater for several decades. But it apparently was a beautiful building. There's a detailed description in the book, too, of the building. And it was a focal point for opera in North America. In the days before the Met or as the Met was New York was beginning to come alive. It took over from New Orleans. Clearly it had the money and the population by the end of the century, but it was a beautiful place, and there were a lot of great things that happened in opera, and at least you did a generation ago, to elderly people in New Orleans, and they talked as children of going to the opera house. It was a major thing to go there, to go there and have a season ticket or see. And they produced 230 operas a season. I have one season there. There was 230 operas, something like 30 different operas. Well, we have several photographs that I have was taken one in early years, like 1903 or something. There was a photograph of everybody there. The whole hall was full. It was not an empty seat. Everybody was dressed in their finest clothes. It shows the audience. It doesn't show the stage. But you get the feeling that this was a festive occasion every night, and that people went to be seen. That's clear from the critics talking about when they build a new hall. You could see everybody. You could see everybody there. I mean, who cares to see everybody? Well, they did care. That was part of the social scene.